remember my name. Fame!
All right, let's go.
Hey, Brandi, it's good to see you in real life.
In real life. IRL.
I feel like anytime I record a podcast, I have to put clothes on. Like for the episode we did earlier, I was like, let me get dressed.
I got dressed too.
Let me brush my teeth. I don't want you smelling my breath over the mic. So I'm just letting y'all know.
She just sounds like her breath stinks.
You sound like your breath stinks.
Weirdos.
I come in fresh. Brandi comes in fresh. We come in fresh for y'all, okay? Just letting you know. But hey, guys, check out our collaboration on the Pod Clubhouse. Love it or leave it.
Definitely do that. I did enjoy that episode that we recorded. And honestly, like, we should have talked about the other one.
The guy.
The freaking asshole weirdo guy with the salon owner one. Because the
husband?
He was like weird.
I think he did it.
He's a spook show for sure.
Guys, so what we did is we did a collaboration with the Pod Clubhouse on their series, their podcast series, Love It or Leave It. And we did Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, the newest reboot. But he fucking did it.
Yeah,
I think he did it.
I do too.
I think he hired somebody or one of those dudes who claimed that they did it. I think he hired one of them to do it.
It's very well possible.
But he was a fucking creep. And he was like, well, I didn't like him. His son-in-law, his stepson.
He didn't like anybody, apparently.
Creep status. He looked like a fucking creep.
I know the truth. She knows the truth. She's dead. What are you talking about?
Well, she knows.
When he said that, I was like, what? Mm-hmm. I know the truth, and she knows the truth?
He's a fucking asshole. Or how about the husband that went missing, who just like up and ran out of the house, and they find him in a building?
Was that the first one? I think
that was the first one.
I think I was job searching at the time, and I wasn't paying attention.
Well, the husband ups and leaves, and he disappears for like 3 weeks. They couldn't find him, and then they found a hole in the top of a hotel, and they go in, open the room, and they find his body in there, like
somebody drilled a hole and dropped him in there. Like what?
Like someone dropped him and he fell through a hole, or he quote unquote jumped. That's what they were saying, that he jumped. They're like, how the fuck did he jump in here? Like, someone fucked him up and dropped him in the hole, because she was like, oh, one of them has a flip-flop. Remember, she said that it was that episode because they found, like, his flip-flops and his glasses and his phone on the roof, and it wasn't damaged. The shit wasn't cracked.
Oh.
The shoes got dragged. There was dragging marks on his shoes, but they didn't take that into consideration. It was sad.
No. Well, anyway. So I have been paying attention to my Netflix suggestions. I watched The Old Guard, and I watched Warrior Nun.
Oh, Brandi, you and Jamal are on the same page, because he watched all that shit last week.
Yeah, I binged it all, 2 days ago.
I've been calling it, Psycho Nun, or, Super Nun, or something like that. I'm like, what are you watching, Psycho Nun?
Well, in the same day, I watched The Old Guard first, and then I watched all of Warrior Nun that same day. Honestly, though, Warrior Nun was, it pissed me off. Seriously, I
didn't watch it.
The first, there's 10 episodes. Mm-hmm. The first 7 episodes
you was mad.
Are just infuriating. Oh. Because... are you going to watch it? No, because she gets this thing in her that makes her the warrior nun. But the bitch fucking, she runs away and doesn't think that these people should be chasing after her to get it back.
Oh, whatever was given to her to make her a warrior.
Yeah. Nun. And it's just she's like, I don't want this. Okay, well, give it back.
Give it back, ho. Like in Preacher. But he wants to keep it.
He wanted to keep it. But she didn't want it. She's like, I didn't ask for that. Because she was dead. She died.
Oh.
The first episode she comes, she's a dead body.
Oh.
And they just shove it in her.
Oh, yeah. Sounds so violating.
Well, she puts it in her to hide it from these bad guys. And it brings her back to life. So she was already dead. But I'm just like, why is she running? You don't want it, fine. I get it. Give it to the person it was supposed to belong to.
Give it to me instead.
It was supposed to belong to somebody else. But it didn't get to her because, of the events that took place. But she wants it. Give it to her. Like, or accept your fucking fate. You want to be alive, so be alive with the thing and do what you need to do. So, the Old Guard, though, it was good. It was good. I liked it. And it leaves an opening for a sequel, so I like that. But anyway, so what have you been doing this week? I just totally talked about my week. What did you do this week?
I didn't even ask you about
How was your week? I know. But that's what happened.
We have been slaving in the backyard in this pond. Your son's been coming by every day. I paid him like $50.
Yeah, he's going to go get another tattoo. I'm like, can you slow down on the tattoo?
Okay, because I was going to give him some more money next week, so maybe I shouldn't because he's just going to spend it on a tattoo.
Well, it's not like he has bills.
I've been slaving in this backyard, and it's coming along. And the funny thing is, we went to a rock quarry in Roseman, and to pick out the rocks that we're gonna put in the pond do all the
place on Sierra.
Iron something and
Ironworks or something.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's called. Jamal's like, we are not even nearly done yet. Like digging the hole is half of the battle because now we
Is it half? I think it's like
3/4.
I think it's like a third. Like you still have a whole bunch of other shit you got.
Yeah, a third of the battle. That's what I meant. A third. We're pretty much done with the hole almost.
Maybe a quarter.
We got one more day of digging, I would say, and then we're gonna lay the lining down. But they say when you want to lay your lining down, you need to have the rocks because the rocks are gonna hold the lining and just gonna do the structure.
Yeah.
We gotta get a skimmer still, and
What is a skimmer?
A skimmer it's where it holds the pump. So all the bad shit is kind of like sucked into there, and the skimmer catches like the debris.
Oh, it's like a filter.
Bugs. It's a filter.
Okay.
And the skimmer is one filter, and then the water will go through the skimmer and flow to the waterfall that we're going to create.
Okay.
And push in the water that way. And then at the waterfall, I'm going to create a biofilter, another filter to create beneficial bacteria, to keep the water clear, and to catch any other bullshit that wasn't caught in the skimmer.
Are you going to put like snails and shit in there?
I'm not putting snails, but they have these things called bio balls, and they're like, oh, you can just throw sponges in here and this and this and that.
You can do that.
It's just a bunch of layers to catch the stuff. So that's exciting. I think I found
You could get actually those bath sponges, not the sea sponges, not the...
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I could grow some loofah. I have loofah seeds.
That's what I meant. Loofah.
I have loofah seeds.
You can't grow... No.
Yes, you can.
Salt water.
I'll show you.
Loofah's alive.
I know.
Okay.
It grows like this and it dries out and you peel it and it's the loofah.
There's
different kinds
but
of
it's
loofah.
an animal.
That's a different kind of loofah. There's like a plant loofah that I have seeds, and I'll show you, and we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that we get this done by the end of the month. It'll probably be done sooner. We went to the quarry. We found the rocks that we want in the pond, like the river rocks and like boulders and things like that. But we want to get some, I think it's called flagstone, that we want to put...
That sheep shit?
Exactly. So we want to put it around the pond to hide certain things. And we're doing it cheap, and I feel like I'm really good on my budget. I don't want to spend more than like $1,000 because that's just absurd. But I'm doing really good about that.
That's cool because my budget would be $50. So...
Well, $50 was just for your son. So.
Oh, so you mean plus labor?
Okay, everything. We had to buy a new wheelbarrow and a new shovel and some PVC to cap off the shit in the back. But other than that, we're doing really good. The only thing I've really paid for is the pond liner and the piping, and I got a pump and I got LED lights. And I don't think I've even...
Oh, you're going to put lights in there?
Yeah, Jamal's really obsessed with lights. And I found some LED lights on Amazon. They were like $50, but I got the used and open ones, like someone sent back, which is in good condition for like $40. So I was like, I'll save myself $10 right here.
That's cool.
So that has been going on. Oh, and Jamal's birthday was last week, so now I'm married to a 40-year-old. It's exciting.
Buh.
But we're trying to bang out this pond, though, because we're trying to chill. We're seriously trying to chill.
Yeah.
Was that how your week was earlier, what you told me about your warrior nun?
I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I can't remember past 2 days ago, so.
Why should you? Because if you're listening to this in the future, it was the Rona. The Rona is here still.
It's fucking worse. It's gotten worse since.
It has gotten worse.
Like, oh, and I read today that Florida just like busted a record with the amount of cases that that amount of new cases. People, like, you guys are acting really fucking stupid. Real fucking stupid. I'm so tired of hearing people say, oh, wear your mask like a little sheep. Or, oh my God, it doesn't work, so why do it? You are assholes, and you're the fucking problem. Why don't you go jump off a fucking bridge? Because that's what you want. Obviously, you don't give a shit about anybody else. So, okay, rant over.
I'm with you on that. I read something that's just fucking fake news on Facebook, and it was something, the dumb Trump, Eric Trump.
They're all dumb.
He's like,
what are you talking about?
Corona's fake, and it's here to, so people don't come to my father's rallies.
Nobody likes your
after elections. This is just going to disappear. I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Nobody listens to him.
Oh well, Junior wrote a book about Biden, and of course it's scheduled to release on, I think, like the week of election week or some bullshit. Just something stupid. He's self-publishing it, by the way.
Good job.
So obviously, no reputable publisher, deems it worthy of fucking being published. I just can't with these fucking people. I can't. Like, honestly,
Can I talk about something good?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just watched Biggest Little Farm.
Is it Biggest Little Farm? I thought you said it was called something else.
It's called Biggest Little Farm.
Okay.
On Amazon. And it was so good. It was so good. This family, like this husband and wife, the husband is a videographer and like works on like Discovery shit and shoots animals and does this. So he's already in the industry. The wife is like a personal chef and she just like cooks naturally. And then they adopt this dog that they found in an animal hoarder's house up in like Tehachapi somewhere.
Oh,
bitch had like 200 or 300 dogs.
No.
And he was.
How many of them were? They were all alive. How many of them were like healthy and viable?
They had to euthanize a lot of the dogs.
Oh.
But they were like, let's keep this one just cute little black dog, bright white blue eyes, and they keep the dog. And so the dog is like, they're in an apartment in Santa Monica, and when they're not there, the dog is just yap, 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 yap. So everyone's bitching, hey, your dog's barking, blah, 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 blah. So the wife had aspirations of, her name's Molly, of growing their own food, having a farm, and doing it all natural, with nature. Mm. And so they eventually decide to buy a farm, and they're smart because they didn't have any money. They're like, I don't know how we're going to do this. They put together a business plan, talked to their friends, and they found some investors to help them make their dream come true. And they get this 200-acre plot, and it is fucking wonderful. But with all the animals, there's going to be issues. So they handle things naturally, like with nature. They bring in ducks to eat the snails. They bring in chickens for, like, the maggots. They bring in this for this.
There's maggots? Why would there be maggots?
Because there's bullshit by that not horse shit, but cow boo-boo. The flies come in and they lay their eggs and shit because
I didn't know they laid eggs and shit. I knew they laid eggs on rotting stuff, but I didn't know it was on the poop.
Rotting shit and shit, because poop is just, food that they've eaten, grass and whatever.
But I didn't think it was like
maggots. It feeds the maggots, because maggots are just fly eggs.
No, I know. And they actually, like, in the medical field, they use maggots for, clean burns. Like, it eats dead flesh off of patients.
Well,
they'll sew maggots into an infected wound to clean out the dead
I've
flesh.
seen nasty stuff like that, but that's why, like, on farms, there's always flies because of the shit.
No, I knew they were attracted to shit. I didn't know that they could actually lay their eggs there because I didn't realize that shit was a viable source of
I found
food
maggots
for maggots
in the coop.
Oh, really?
In the chicken coop. I was like, oh, what is this? And because I have a waterer inside.
But do they eat it?
They do. They will eat them. I found them like under the waterer, so I put the water up on bricks. But still, like, if it's wet, and I'll move
because it smells. The smell is what attracts the flies.
Well, they kicking it. But this documentary is amazing. I highly suggest it. I paid $3.99 for it on Amazon, and now I own it rather than a fucking rental. Now I own this shit, and I can watch it anytime I want. And I feel like it is.
How many times are you gonna watch it?
I've watched it twice.
Do you watch it to like feel better about things?
I watch it to kind of see what they're doing, and it does make me feel good, and everything that they're going through and their experiences, and it's amazing because we can coexist with nature without being fucking assholes.
Without fighting against it.
And tearing things up, and global warming, and pesticides, and, only growing one this and one that just because this is the only way that you could survive.
Monsanto's an asshole.
Monsanto is an asshole, but this...
And we're going to talk about him today.
Ooh, yes!
Well, not him, but...
Okay, I'm with you. So, it was great.
He's a problem.
He is a problem.
They are a problem. I should say it's they, because it's a business. Yeah. They are a problem.
Well, let's get into it. I am Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lies, the podcast.
It's Bope, bitches!
Honk, honk. Awesome. Okay, so Brandy's going to tell us what we're going to talk about. But before I do that, hey, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us. And what I want to do is give a quick shout out to someone special. And we have a new patron.
Yay! So exciting!
Joined us on Patreon. So we want to give a shout out and a little love to Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, how are you, girl? Thank you for joining us. And thank you for becoming a part of the family here. So everybody... wish good vibes to Nicole, okay?
Mm-hmm. Good juju.
Good juju.
And not the bad juju where you need a golden pyramid buried in Arizona.
Yeah, we're blocking the bad juju.
Or some
and
coins.
We're only filtering the good juju to you.
And a gold chain.
And a gold chain. And gold panties. So I wanted to say that first and foremost. And to our listeners, new and old, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. We love you guys. If you want to connect with us on social, go ahead and do that. On Twitter, we're at Book of Lies Pod. On Facebook and Instagram at Book of Lies Podcast. We have a website, bookofliespodcast.com. There you could listen to all of our previous episodes. You can learn a little bit more about us. And you could join us on Patreon. Patreon. There's a link in the show notes and also on the website. So if you have it to give, we could use it.
We could definitely
use it.
It will go to a good cause, we promise. Really will.
And we'll send you stuff, too.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple different tiers, $2, $5, $10. Whatever you have, we will take, and we will love you forever for it and send you fancy love notes. So, Brandi, what are we talking about today?
Well, this is something that everybody should be concerned about because everybody eats. And everybody drinks.
Everybody eats.
And if you're eating food, then you're being scammed.
Oh, shit.
You're being lied to. You're being duped. We are talking about the great food scandal today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, I want to give a very, very, very big thank you to Larry Olmsted, writer of a book called... What is the name of his book? What's the name of your book, Larry? The book is called... He wrote a book called Real Food, Fake Food. He is a food review, a restaurant reviewer, actually. He's a travel journalist, and he writes for Forbes, and he has done the majority of the research for me.
Thanks, buddy.
So I'm just going to give a big list of sources real quick. Larry Olmsted is my first source, and then there's articles and shows, TV shows. So Inside Edition, Forbes, New York Times, the National Consumers League, MSN, even Pop Sugar. Hake Magazine, the Telegraph, the Daily Mail, Bloomberg.
He's telling his story to the mountaintop.
Time.com, the Tampa Bay Times, 60 Minutes, CBS News are all integral in this today's episode. So, thank you, Larry, and thank you to all of those people who, got down in the muck to get these stories, because they're fucked up. So we're going to start with something that's near and dear to your heart, Sunny. And I hate to break this to you, but pumpkin puree is fake.
What? Let's talk about it. That's why I'm growing my own fucking pumpkin. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's what. Okay.
Because it just says pumpkin. I'm like, what kind of pumpkin is this? Like, give me the tea.
Yeah.
What's in this shit?
The canned pumpkin puree, the one that says 100% pumpkin, is not pumpkin.
What is it?
It's a bunch of other different types of gourds and squash.
Oh, okay.
It's butternut squash, golden delicious squash, Hubbard squash, and a bunch of different kinds. Technically, Libby's, you know, they're the canned pumpkin fucking king, queen, or whatever.
I stand by Libby.
Yeah. It's not pumpkin. It's a squash. Yes, it's a gourd. It's not a pumpkin.
You know what? See, that's what I give to the dogs, but they love it still.
Yeah.
But
I get it.
Continue.
The problem is that because a lot of pumpkin is stringy and watery.
It really is.
It's hard to work with.
Yes, it is.
But butternut squash is creamy.
And it's delicious, too.
Mm-hmm. You can freaking, puree that shit, and it's it comes out creamy, nice to work with. Mm-hmm. So they use that.
You know what? So she's right about the stringiness of pumpkin because, like, Halloween.
Yeah.
You buy the pumpkins, and I've, like, cooked some of them, and I'm like, God damn it. They're so fucking stringy.
Right.
And it's not even as orangey as the one in the can.
Yeah. Butternut squash is orange.
Yes, it is.
Orange.
When I ordered pumpkin seeds last year, I looked up smooth and silky pumpkins. So the 2 pumpkin varieties I ordered were specifically for the texture of it, so it's not so stringy. Mm-hmm. But continue. Thank you for shedding a little light, because I'm going to start growing some butternut squash now, because I know it's a charade.
So certain varieties of winter squash, because they're winter squash, make that texture that everybody loves in their pumpkin pie, that creamy texture. Basically the same texture as a yam. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the same texture. Apparently, the squash are sweeter than pumpkins, like the flavor-wise. So this is allowed because the USDA says you can call a fucking a summer squash, or I'm sorry, a winter squash a pumpkin.
Oh.
They don't. It's a gourd. It's a gourd. So a gourd is a gourd according to the USDA. So yeah, basically they're like, well, we don't really give a shit what it's called. It's a pumpkin. A pumpkin is a squash.
My mind is being fucking blown right now, Brandi. You have no idea. I'm like, because this woman, I sold her biscuits, and she was like, you should try making some out of butternut squash. And I was like, I'll think about it. But now I'm like, okay, the fuck?
Okay, so there's 2 parties involved in all of these, in these stories. There's the FDA and the USDA. So they're both government organizations, which means they do barely anything to fucking, make shit happen. And they like the fucking status quo, and they refuse to help people who actually give a shit about food. They'll regulate the fuck out of drugs.
Of course.
But food, nah. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. just so you know. Okay, so, and for those of you who don't know the difference, the USDA is the United States Department of Agriculture. The FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. So while the USDA doesn't do anything regarding drugs, they do everything regarding food, agriculture, farming, shit like that. Mm-hmm. The FDA, I mean, unless something is killing you, they're not gonna fucking step in.
Yeah,
pretty much. Okay.
Did you die? But did you die?
Did you die? Exactly. Was there a death involved? Okay, we don't give a fuck. That's basically how they function. Calling a food, it's pretty much the same thing.
Tell me what it fucking really is, though, but don't say
yeah.
I don't know if this is the same, but food allergies. Someone could say, hey, I'm allergic to butternut squash, but I'm not allergic to pumpkin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You sell me pumpkin puree, and I think everything is, hunky-dory, and I have an allergic reaction, and I die. Fuck you. I'm haunting you. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So that's, be real with me.
Apparently squash allergies aren't that big a thing.
I don't.
Because nobody, at least it's never been publicized that anybody's died from eating pumpkin. Other than choking.
I ate a pumpkin pie one time. I almost died.
So basically, the USDA is lenient with their fucking gore terminology, so that it's legal to call a pumpkin a fucking butternut squash.
Well, thank you for letting me know that. Because guess what? Dogs like all that shit, and you're getting it in your biscuits.
Yeah, but just so you know, you have been eating butternut squash pie, some squash bread, and some fucking squash lattes.
Ooh, you got a butternut squash latte.
Squash spice lattes.
Can I get one of the squash spice lattes, please? Mm-hmm. Boards come in all shapes and sizes, and they're beautiful. And
I know I like the colors.
They're great things, but what we're just trying to emphasize is
the only thing is
be real.
It's not a zucchini because zucchini you can't.
Zucchini bread's bomb.
Yeah, but you can't fake a fucking pumpkin and a zucchini. Like, it's not possible. Zucchinis are way too watery.
Zucchinis do have a lot of water. I've juiced zucchini before,
Mm-hmm. We're gonna move on to something near and dear to the hearts of most people who eat pizza. And that is Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan
cheese. So, Parmesan is the English term for Parmigiano Reggiano cheese.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano. Or Parmigiano Reggiano.
Can I get the Parmesan cheese,
for those
please?
of us who have to pronounce every single syllable and every single vowel.
Can I just get the Parmesan cheese, please?
Parmesan cheese? Yeah, so Parmesan is the English term for Parmigiano Reggiano. But what you're getting in those weird grated cheese canisters, the ones that are green and they have red letters, and you can find them on the shelf of your favorite grocery store, is not Parmesan cheese. Could be some fucking cellulose and some wood chips.
Wood chips?
Wood pulp, I should say. I'm sorry. Not wood chips, wood pulp.
Well, I learned from Alone that you could eat wood, so...
You can eat wood, but... Don't tell me it's fucking cheese.
You lying bitch. Shit, cheese.
And that's pine. I'm not trying to go eat a cedar tree.
This cheese tastes really cedary.
Don't fuck with me. I will come for you.
And I love cheese, so I guess it's not cheese.
It's blue letters, but there's red on the package.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, Kraft. You're the guilty party. There's some others, some knockoffs and whatnots. And they're not Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Okay? That's a filler. The wood pulp and the fucking cellulose is a filler. Some of them are shelf stabilizers, what do you call it? Preservatives. Mm-hmm. That are in them, so you're not getting it. Okay, so Parmigiano Reggiano cheese is allowed to legally allowed to have 3 ingredients: fucking milk, fucking cheese enzymes,
and salt,
and fucking salt.
Yeah,
that's all. But you're getting way more than you fucking bargained for when you're buying this shit.
Is it just them, that particular company?
No, there's they're the ones that have the wood chips in it. I mean I keep saying wood chips. The wood pulp in it. Other cheese makers, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese is supposed to come straight from Italy. That's where it comes from. They don't make it in this country. It's an Italian cheese. So if you get a fucking cheese that says California made and it's Parmesan cheese, it's not. That's not what it is. Also, they lie, and they put on the label that it was made in Italy when it was made in fucking Argentina. It's a lie. They're lying to you.
I want my cheese.
Basically, yeah. So the cellulose powder, potassium sorbate, and cheese cultures are not supposed to be in I said cheese cultures. I didn't mean cheese cultures. I meant rennet, which is comes from cows. From calves, actually. It is illegal to put that bullshit in there when you're in Italy, because that's where this cheese is produced. In Italy, it is illegal to put the other shit in there, the cellulose and the potassium sorbate and the cheese cultures.
Good.
Because that's not what it is. So, when you get that shit, just know that that's not what you're eating. You're not eating Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Well, you're eating a pasteurized, processed cheese food.
That's gross. Cheese food.
That's what American cheese is.
That's why I buy the one in the deli, the shredded, the shaved Parmesan cheese.
Yes, but again, that might be fake because that might come from not Italy, but like Argentina or something. Basically, you have to ask where this fucking cheese came from.
That's fucked up, and people.
And
just
then
buy
sometimes
stuff.
the label will say it came from somewhere that it didn't. So there's also that. There is a rampant problem, and we'll get there. But there's a rampant problem with me telling you that something is more valuable than it actually is, and you believing me.
It's called lying.
Because I want the money. I'm going to tell you that this right here, this item is worth $700 when it's actually worth $20, and I bought it at the flea market.
Guys.
But this is food, so I found this item, I found this roadkill, and I'm calling it fucking lamb, and it's possum.
I don't want that.
Hello, I am Christy.
And I'm Leighton.
And together we are a new podcast on whiskey tasting called
Married Mash, where we discuss life, family, and pretty much anything.
Yep, and Leighton brings a new whiskey for me to try. Will we clink it?
Or will we sink it?
Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And remember,
always drink responsibly.
Indeed.
I'm good on the possum.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. It's fucked
problem.
up. It's fucked up.
And again, the FDA. In this particular scenario, the United States has different fucking standards than other countries do. So some standards are higher, some standards are lower, and sometimes they don't even if the standards are there, they don't even fucking check it, regulate it. It's like, we set the standard, now go do what we said, but we're not going to fucking make sure you're doing what we said.
Well, that's kind of the situation for, like, dog biscuits. Like, there's no regulations for dog biscuits.
Because it's a dog.
It's a dog, nobody cares. I care, you guys care, and if you care, go ahead and visit beautiesbiscuits.com. Because, I mean, I'm a dog owner, and that's why I started this business, because my dog needed a healthy treat. And that's where Beauty's Biscuits came along. But, like, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be true. I'm going to keep it real. And if you guys want some honest, good biscuits, use offer code LIES at beautiesbiscuits.com. And Mama will hook you up with some biscuits, okay? That's fucked up.
Yeah. So, okay, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. Look at the name of the cheese. So if you find something that's called Parmesello or Reggianito
as the ingredient?
No, passing itself off as Parmigiano Reggiano cheese.
Oh, okay.
Because if you go to Albertsons right now, there will be a cheese in the refrigerated section. There is one that says Reggiano cheese.
Right.
But that's not what it is. Like, it's not actual PR cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. It's something else because it wasn't made in Italy.
Got it.
Real?
It's like champagne. Like, you have to be called champagne, you become...
It needs to be made in Champagne. Yeah, that was actually another thing, but...
Sorry.
California and New York are grandfathered in to use that term. But people still they don't understand that it's not from Champagne. People are blissfully ignorant about certain things, and I think food is one of them.
True, because make it pretty, serve it to me, I'll eat it. You don't know what you're eating.
Right. basically the U.S. doesn't regulate the manufacture of Parmesan cheese because it's not an American cheese. There is American cheese, which is also not actually fucking cheese.
Plastic.
So you're eating American cheese, and it's not cheese. It's a pasteurized, processed cheese food, which means it might have milk in it, but again, milk is really only supposed to contain 3 ingredients. I mean, milk. Cheese. American cheese was a cheap way to manufacture a fake cheese, and so they did it. Because a lot of times it's made with oil, not milk. And so then Kraft was like, oh, well, let's put some milk in there. But they didn't change the manufacture process. They just added an ingredient. It's still garbage cheese. It's not cheese. It's not fucking healthy. It's nasty. Don't eat it. I don't buy American cheese, ever. And the only reason I even eat American cheese, if I do, is because it's in macaroni and cheese that my mom makes. Which tastes good, but on my own, I'm not going to buy American cheese. Also, because it was government cheese. So it was cheap to make.
Right.
Give it to the poor people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to eat real food. They can eat garbage food.
And that's how they feel. Like, what was I watching? Oh, Nazi Hunters? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
What was that called?
Yeah.
Nazi Hunters?
Mm.
How the purple drink or whatever, purple punch or whatever, and they were like, it was a drug that they were giving to the inner cities and, selling it to black kids and, drink this purple stuff. It's good for you. And it wasn't. It was like...
supposed to be like grape soda or whatever.
Yeah,
not grape soda.
Grape drink.
Grape drink. Right. They still sell that shit.
I know, but
in gigantic gallon jugs.
But to think that it was like some Nazis trying to like kill us, that's fucked up.
It's more like your government trying to kill you.
Same thing.
To be honest.
Look,
yeah.
Same
you're right.
Thing.
You are not wrong. You're not wrong. So there might be some actual Parmesan cheese in the Parmesan cheese that you're buying in a shaker. God damn it. Cheese doesn't come in a fucking shaker.
You shred that shit fresh on my fucking plate. I want fresh cheese right now.
Exactly.
Like Olive Garden, they hook you up.
There you go. The cheese that comes in a shaker might have some Parmesan cheese in it, but it has the additives. They cut it because they can produce more. Mm-hmm. So they add shit to it, just like fucking cocaine. They add bad stuff to it.
Just like cocaine.
Pretty much, that's what they do. They add bad stuff to it. Maybe it'll get you more addicted.
Baking soda.
Maybe it's baby laxative.
Oh.
Maybe it'll, do something bad to you. Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
But we're going to add some shit to it. We're going to cut it so that we can make more of it and make more of a profit. So, beware the Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Beware the Parmesan cheese in the shaker. Also at Pizza Hut and pretty much every single pizza place, that's what you're getting. Fake cheese!
Fake cheese.
Next on our list is something that everybody has in their fucking cupboard. Everybody has this.
Unless they know.
Unless they don't cook. And if they don't cook, they're eating out. Oh. And they're eating at restaurants.
I know what it is. Olive oil?
Olive oil. Very good. Where they're probably using this. So, it's olive oil. Yes, you're buying fake olive oil probably. 80% of the olive oils on your fucking grocery store shelf are fake.
That's fucked up. Listen, as I become a little more seasoned in my business owning expertise and learning life and podcasting, you realize anybody can do pretty much anything they want to do if they have enough ambition, whatever. They're like, oh, this is this, I'm going to put it on your shelf. And people sell it and we can consume it and there's no regulation. Because certain things on certain bottles, it says tiny print, not FDA approved.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's fucked up.
So, here's what. Olive oil, specifically extra virgin olive oil, is made from mashing olives into a paste and then cold pressing it to express the oil, and then bottling that oil. there are other methods of extracting said oil. You can put them in a grinder, which heats up the olives, which basically heat and oil don't mix. Like when you're bottling it. If you're putting oil, if you expose oil to light or heat, it makes it turn rancid.
Oh.
So a lot of times what you're buying is rancid oil.
No.
It might not be when you open it the first time, but over time you'll start to smell that nasty, like weird, it smells like it's old. It's not a good smell.
That's fucked up.
It's rancid oil. They use other methods to express the oil, but cold pressed oil is extra virgin oil. If the oil is 2 years old and you're mixing that oil with new oil, it's not extra virgin anymore. So if I'm mixing old ass olive oil with new olive oil and I'm putting it on a shelf saying it's extra virgin olive oil, I'm a big fat fucking liar.
They do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, so extra virgin olive oil mostly comes from Spain. From Italy. Some comes from Spain. Olives from Spain. They use olives from the Mediterranean region. But I could say my oil is bottled in Italy. But bottled in Italy doesn't mean came from Italy.
True. You got shipped it to Italy to bottle it.
Exactly. So if I'm putting on there Italian olive oil or extra virgin olive oil from Italy, and then on the bottom it says bottled in Italy, I'm a big fat fucking liar. I'm telling you that bottled in Italy, but you, in your mind, interpret bottled in Italy as made in Italy. So,
oh yeah,
what's happening? I'm tricking you into thinking that this olive oil came directly from Italy. It did not.
Deception.
But guess what? The FDA doesn't regulate olive oil.
What do they regulate? What do they do?
They fucking fuck with you and drugs. That's it. Or like if there's a freaking mad cow disease outbreak, they'll pull, meat off the shelves. But they don't really do anything.
Okay, good to know.
They don't do what they're supposed to do. Supposed to do. S-P-O-S-T. Supposed to do. They don't do what they're supposed to do. Okay? So some olive oils, basically, there are olive oil producers that are like, this is fucked up, and you guys are fucking with our shit because extra virgin olive oil is more expensive than regular olive oil. Mm-hmm. You can find bottles that just say olive oil on the bottle, and that's perfectly fine because you're not thinking it's extra virgin olive oil, or you might because you're just that guy. But if it just says olive oil on it, it's not extra virgin olive oil. It's olive oil, which means that it comes from low quality olives, and by low quality olives, I mean olives that they cannot use to make extra virgin olive oil because there's a specific type of olive and a specific type of quality olive that they want so that you get the best product available, not garbage oil, which is what basically you're getting when you buy these fucking brands that I'm going to tell you about because I've got 14 of them.
Oh my God.
So there are oil makers that are like, this is fucked up. You guys aren't fucking regulating this shit. Other people are calling their fucking oil extra virgin olive oil, and it's not, and it's garbage, and they're basically, they're charging an arm and a leg for this olive oil that is not what it's supposed to be. Because, again, extra virgin olive oil is expensive. I have seen extra virgin olive oil on the freaking shelf in the grocery store for $18.99.
God damn.
So, yeah. So there are standards. There's olive oil. There's olive oil, which is the lowest quality olive oil.
Because it could be any olive, and I'm not specifying what kind of olive or where it's coming from.
There's virgin olive oil, and there's extra virgin olive oil.
What makes it virgin?
Probably the process they use to get the oil out.
So
I don't. They don't tell
trees.
you. They don't. Well, unless there's a dendrophiliac around, I would hope all of the trees are virgin.
The trees have not been touched by pollen. They're virgins.
They asked the FDA and they asked the Fed, can you guys do something? They were like, nah. It's oil.
It's oil. Shut up.
Oh, and guess what? Sometimes you're not even getting olive oil. You're getting fucking sunflower oil that's been dyed, with food coloring in it and maybe an ingredient added to it so it tastes a little more like extra virgin olive oil. They fuck with your food.
They are fucking with your food. That's what made me become a vegetarian, because they fuck with your food.
Yeah, but even olive oil is not safe.
I get it, but now it's just like, damn it! I gotta grow my own olives now. Like, look, what?
What was it? They were the olives that they were growing over there.
Oh, listen, because I was like, should I go over there and go harvest some olives and then press my own shit? Because I did harvest like a bag full of them, and I tried to brine them, and they just got all like putrefied and like nasty. I didn't do it right when I was trying to
oh god, gross,
brine some olives, but I know where to get some fresh ones though. Thank you for the heads up, honey.
Yeah, so your EVOO probably isn't EV, and you're gonna be mad because you're just getting OO. So or maybe VOO, but you're not getting EVOO. So check your labels. For now, though, here are some of the companies that you should fucking avoid if you don't want the EVOO.
I'm so nervous.
Issues. No. Oh no, yours is Winco brand.
Yeah, mine's Winco.
They're not on here, but you never know. So if you're listening, go right to your cupboard and open that bad boy and see if you've got one of these brands. And I'm pretty sure you do, because I've bought at least 3 of these fucking brands, and I'm not happy about it. Basically, you paid an inflated price for some fucking garbage oil.
Speak it.
Here we go. Mezzetta. Pompeian.
I bought their stuff all the time.
Yep. Mazzola. I didn't even know they made olive oil. I thought they just made corn oil and vegetable oil. They make fucking olive oil too. Mazzola. Prima Donna. Sasso. Colavita. Antica Badia. I think this one is only like sold in Europe though. Whole Foods. Filippo Berio. Yeah, Whole Foods. Those fuckfaces have been fucking with your olive oil. Safeway. Coricelli and Bertoli. Yeah, those assholes that make the frozen food, they make oil and it's fake. Also, bottled in Italy doesn't mean made in Italy. I already said that. You could be getting oil, olives from Spain, and it'll say it on the thing, like olives from Spain. It should. And that's fine. But, again, they're fucking with your food and they're lying to you about it.
Maybe they just don't want to pay for new labels.
What?
It's like, oh, this year we couldn't get the olives from Spain like we usually do, or from Italy like we usually do. We had to go to Rome. That's still Italy. We had to
Malta.
Somewhere else, yeah, to get the olives. But they're like, oh, we still have 5,000 of these labels that say this. No one will know. No? Okay. Sorry.
It's still bad practice.
It is still bad. It's still lying.
It's a big fat fucking lie.
Still a lie, motherfucker.
So, do you know where your fish comes from?
No.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. So in 2013, I actually wrote an article about this for digitaljournal.com. And again, that was fucking 7 years ago. And this shit is still going on. Fish mislabeling and intentionally passing off one type of fish as another type of fish has been happening for years.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers have gone down, but it's still happening. So next time you're ordering fish at a restaurant and you're being told it's one type of fish, you might be getting another type of fish. No fish is safe, guys.
No fish is safe.
Okay. At the time, it was a third of the fish in the grocery stores and the sushi restaurants that were being passed off as other type of fish. A fucking third. That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot.
1 in 3 fish, guys. 1 in 3.
1 in 3 fish are being affected by this.
Or 3 in 10. There we go. 3 in 10 fish. which is still a lot. If you're going in the store and you're asking for halibut, you should get halibut, not fucking bass.
Kick his ass, sea bass.
Oceania, which is obviously it's a fish group. Oh, I said they tested the DNA of DNA. Fish.
Oh, okay.
And they determined that you're being lied to. There was a fuck ton of fish that was mislabeled. So, a lot of the fish that at your grocery store, even at your local fish store, which is really fucked up because you expect to get the fish that they say that you're gonna get when you go to a fishmonger, but instead you're fucking getting something else. Fishmonger, a person who sells fish. Like in New York, they have fish markets where it's just fish that they sell, and you can go and you can say, I want that fish right there, and they'll grab it, wrap it up for you, weigh it, and tag it, and you buy it. Mm-hmm. Just fish. We're not that fortunate around here. Just like we're not as fortunate to have the good bagels. But whatever. A lot of times they'll substitute another fish that, it's a white fish. White fish is white fish. It's a white fish. It's the same. But as you know, if you've ever eaten a catfish and then you've eaten a different type of fish, all fish does not taste the same. Nope. If you've ever eaten a salmon and then eaten a sole or a snapper, you know that all fish does not taste the same. And you should be getting what you're paying for instead of being sold fucking bullshit. A bag of lies. That's what you're getting.
Bag of lies.
So first we're going to go into the most commonly faked fish. So slickhead and tilapia. Tilapia is passed off as a lot of different types of fish.
I bet.
Tilapia is farm raised. You can't go fishing and fucking fish a tilapia out of the ocean or the lake unless they put that tilapia there. So just remember that, guys. Tilapia is a farm raised fish. Mm-hmm. And it's cheap. That's why it's cheap. Yeah. That is why it's cheap. Because it's, we have fresh tilapia. It's not fresh. You got that motherfucker out of somebody's fucking fish farm.
Get out of my pond in the back.
So slickhead and tilapia are often passed off as Alaskan or Pacific cod. King mackerel and whitefin and weakfish are labeled as grouper. So when you go to Hooters and you get a grouper's cousin sandwich,
lies.
They don't tell you what kind of fish it is. It says in the description, because I like that fucking sandwich. It says, we found a fish that's similar to the grouper. It's called the grouper's cousin fish. Grouper's cousin. That's why we have a grouper's cousin sandwich or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. They don't even name the fish.
It's just grouper's cousin.
Grouper's cousin.
Well, listen here. They got hella grouper in the Bahamas, and grouper's good.
Uh-huh.
And I've honestly never had any fish like that before.
It tastes like a grouper. No, it doesn't.
Grouper's good.
That grouper's cousin sandwich is good, but it's mostly because of the way they make the sandwich, and the fish is bland. Like the actual fish, if you just like take it off the sandwich and just eat a piece of the fish, it's bland. Yeah. It's just like a white fish.
Yeah.
It's the same shit they probably make surimi out of. It's so disappointing.
But grouper's good shit.
Well, when I go to the Bahamas, if I ever get there, I will get grouper.
Okay, let me just put this out there right now. We're going to go to the Bahamas next year. We're probably going to
go... What's next year? Next year when?
When they open up the world again.
That's never happening.
But we're trying to go in February because it's Jamal's grandma's birthday. So we think if we surprise her for her birthday, that'll be cool.
Aww, I want to get February. That's so soon. I need to stack my chips.
It's 8 months away.
Hey guys, so FYI, I'm job hunting. I'm looking for freelance writing work. If you know of an opening, please email us at bookofliespodcast@gmail.com. I need to start stacking my fucking chips.
Cause we try to go to Bahamas.
That, and I need to pay bills, and I need to be able to buy game packs on this fucking game that I'm obsessed with.
Bye.
But no, seriously though. As listeners, if you know of any openings for freelance writers or content writers, give your girl a heads up.
I need you to write that article I told you about last night.
How much does this pay?
I told you to Venmo me.
Okay.
Don't be sending me no outlandish Venmo. I'll decline that.
$7 million.
I got $7 billion.
No, you said you didn't have 8. Listen, 1 million less is it's okay. Anyway.
That's 1 million more than I got.
Blue line tilefish is also passed off as Alaskan or Pacific halibut, and Pacific Ocean perch, yellowtail rockfish, gilt-head sea bream, whatever that is. I never even heard of that. Gilt-headed sea bream. Mede, tilapia, white bass, and white bass are all labeled as red snapper. That's how many fish that they're calling fucking red snapper?
Red snapper?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Oh, here's more. Also being passed off as red snapper are slender pinhalo or pinjalo. I think it's pinhalo, but whatever. Channel catfish. How the fuck? Catfish and snapper don't even taste the same. Rockfish. Again, with the fucking tilapia. Nile perch. Mahi mahi. How are you passing off mahi mahi as red snapper when you're faking mahi mahi too? Mullet snapper. Malabar blood snapper and Atlantic cod, all being passed off as red snapper.
Why not just say what it really is?
Yellowtail is being passed off as mahi mahi. Channel catfish, hake, tilapia, Alaska pollock, and Nile perch is being passed off as grouper as well. Wild salmon, of course, we already know this one, is not wild salmon probably, even if it says so on the package. It's fucking farmed salmon. Especially when they're like, coloring added to, or dye added to enhance color or whatever that package says. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that's a fucking farmed salmon, because if you've ever watched Alone, the salmon they were catching was white. Mako shark is being passed off as swordfish. Big eye tuna and yellowfin tuna are being passed off as bluefin tuna. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's not, apparently. Escolar is being passed off as white tuna. White hake is being passed off as white snapper. Oh, God. Alaskan pollock, Norwegian pollock, whiting, saithe, and escolar are being passed off as Atlantic cod. White bass and striped bass are being passed off as Chilean sea bass.
Oh, Chilean sea bass. Ugh, the scandal on that.
Nile perch is being passed off as shark meat. Black drum is being passed off as red drum. Sea bass and deepwater Cape hake are being passed off as halibut. Saithe is being passed off as haddock. Icefish is being passed off as anchovies. Oreo dory and John dory. Where the fuck are these people? They're being passed off as orange roughy.
Orange roughy. That was Phoebe's mom's favorite fish.
Well, she was lied to.
My mom's favorite fish is orange roughy.
Spotted goldfish is being passed off as red mullet, and a fucking puffer fish is being passed off as monkfish. Now, this might not seem like a big deal to some of you, but I know that when I say I want a fucking halibut and I'm getting a bass, I'm not happy about it. Especially because some of these fish are on the do not eat list.
Oh, fuck. Like the puffer?
Because there's mercury content in these fish that are way above fucking tolerable levels.
Yeah, you're right.
So you're giving me mercury-laden fish and telling me it's a different type of fish.
You stupid bitch.
So maybe Jeremy Piven was right when he said he was eating so much sushi and he got mercury poisoning, and that's why he was acting crazy. Because the sushi restaurants were lying. Or maybe they didn't even know. Who knows?
Because if you got all that money, all you doing is eating out, and they're like, damn, we don't have no more roughy for Piven. Let's give him some puffer.
Well, it's monkfish, which is the puffer fish. But yeah, dory. Oh, sorry, dory. They've been eating dory and calling it roughy.
That's why she can't remember shit.
They've been poisoning her. So beware of your fish, you guys. Like, I feel like
Chicken tonight?
No. I feel like Gordon Ramsay would fucking flay all of these fucking fish suppliers for lying to us about fish.
It's raw!
He prides himself on serving what is said on the fucking menu. And if you're telling me that I'm getting fucking red mullet and you're giving me spotted goatfish,
I'm pissed.
we're gonna have to fight. We're gonna fight.
It's raw!
I'm gonna go take it to Oceana and be like, can you test this DNA before I eat this fish, please?
Nice!
So Oceana they're still trying to fucking fix this shit. They are trying.
How are they getting away with this, though? Like, why is this legal?
Because a lot of times people can't tell what's what. They can't tell what's what.
Yeah.
And they don't really give a fuck to know what's what.
And
you're not buying an entire fish. You're buying filleted
pieces.
Fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're in the store and you see a whole fish, you know that's not what I asked you for. But instead you're getting your sushi's already prepared.
Yeah.
Your fish is already prepared at the restaurant. You can't see the whole fish. So you don't know what the hell they're putting on your plate. Oh, also, when you go to Red Lobster and you think you're getting something that has lobster in it, it probably doesn't.
It's imitation lobster, or what is it?
It just doesn't have lobster in it. It might be. Like, you can go to the lobster tank and get your lobster. That's a lobster, yeah. You're getting that. But in their
Pasta salad or...
Yeah, that shit.
Seafood salad or something.
Or you might be getting, maybe you're getting crawfish. You don't know.
Jamal calls crawfish lobster all the time. Lobster crawfish. Like, he was like, oh, my family's going to bring over some crawfish. And I was like, okay. I opened that shit up. I said, this is lobster. This is lobster tails. Like, he's like...
Same thing.
Same thing. I'm
well, crawfish are mud bugs, so it's not.
Those was lobster tails, girl.
Crawfish are mud bugs. That's why when you were like, oh, the crawfish over there are big as lobsters. They are lobsters.
They're lobsters.
Crawfish are mud bugs. And I've got one more for you. But this one, oh, I'm sorry. I've got two more for you. So do you want meat or do you want a topping / ingredient?
I want a topping / ingredient.
Honey! That's right.
That's what I've been buying from the farmers because I don't trust those motherfuckers.
That's what you have. If you right off the bat, if you want real honey, get it from a honey farmer. Get it from a bee farmer. Do not go to the grocery store unless it actually has that honeycomb in it. Mm-hmm. Don't buy it.
Yeah, we got some when we went to the cherry fields. Mm-hmm. Honey.
So okay, honeykeepers, beekeepers, and honey makers are pissed. There's two different types of honey fraud. There's Manuka honey fraud, which is honey that comes from the Manuka flower that is exclusive to New Zealand. This particular honey has buku health benefits.
From the Manuka flower?
Mm-hmm.
In New Zealand?
In New Zealand.
Okay.
So people will pay an arm and a leg to get this honey.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what?
People fake it.
I know you want this Manuka honey, and I'm going to tell you that what I'm giving you is Manuka honey, but this is honey from my backyard. Or this is honey with other shit in it. It's a rampant fucking problem. I don't know if it's a big problem here, but in other countries, it's a huge problem because Manuka flowers, the Manuka tree in New Zealand only flowers for a very short period. And if you're a beekeeper trying to get the Manuka honey, it's hard to get to because the fucking tree is in a remote location anyway. So probably the only way you're going to get this is from either if you're like really close to that area or if you have
your own Manuka trees.
No. Manuka trees only grow in one place.
Okay.
One place in New Zealand. So you can't even people don't even have Manuka trees in their backyard. So people are faking the funk with the Manuka and they're saying you're getting this Manuka honey, and it is not. The American Beekeeping Federation, which is, people who actually have bees and grow and,
beekeepers.
Farm honey. Yes. It's an organization of beekeepers that say, if your honey don't have pollen in it, it ain't honey. Domestic honey producers, like, I don't know, the honey that's in the fucking bear
Okay. I bought the bear honey before.
The honey that's in the fucking honeycomb, the fake hive, the plastic hive.
Yeah.
Those people are like, well, no, it's not. Our honey comes from bees too. But the problem is that they filter and filter and filter and filter and filter out the pollen. Because the pollen is what makes the honey crystallize. So when your honey is crystallized, when it's not see-through, when it's, cloudy, that's the natural state of honey. Mm-hmm. People don't want that. People want to go to the store and see through their fucking honey jars, and so they buy the fucking filtered honey. So the honey producers, the mass producers, the
big box people.
Yeah. They're like, we're going to filter our honey because that's what people want. They don't want the cloudy honey because people don't understand what, honey is. And that's why a lot of people avoid buying the one with the honeycomb in it. Mm-hmm. You can eat the honeycomb, guys. You can eat it.
Oh, Jesus.
And you should eat it because that actually has a lot of health benefits for you. The pollen is what makes the honey crystallize. Well, they don't want it to crystallize because then it becomes cloudy. And if it's on the shelf for a long time and it crystallizes, people don't want to buy it.
Right.
They filter the fuck out of it.
So it can last longer on the shelf.
Right. And the honeybee keepers are like, you guys are fucking with the honey. Mm-hmm. Stop fucking with the honey. The more pollen in it, the better for you. Did you know that if you have a fucking pollen allergy, it's good to eat honey because your body becomes accustomed to having pollen. And so if you're eating, that's why they have bee pollen pills. Mm. You could just eat honey, the natural honey that has pollen in it, it gives you the same benefits. And it's better. You're not taking a fucking pill.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I have to pee.
You want to pause?
Pause off. We're back.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay. So, but before that, this is what they're doing. The American Beekeeping Federation is trying to get the FDA to create a standard of identification for honey, or a standard of identity for honey.
Okay.
But the FDA is like, no.
Why would we do that?
We're not going to do that. Webster's already defines honey.
Stupid fucks.
So guess what the definition for honey is in the Webster's dictionary? I mean, you're not going to guess the whole thing, but guess. Just throw something out there.
Secretion from bees? I don't know.
Close. A thick, sweet, syrupy substance that bees make as food from the nectar of flowers and store in honeycombs. That's it.
Okay, so then the shit that you're serving me isn't that because... Okay, go ahead, continue.
It's not that because it's only a part of that because you took out the rest of it.
Right. The nectar of the honey and the pollen, that's not a part of the secretion that you're providing me.
Uh-huh. The problem with this definition is that other countries do other shit to honey.
Oh.
And they bring it over here and they import it and call it honey, and it's not actually fucking honey. It has honey in it, but it's not honey. It's not 100% pure honey.
It's just a percentage of the honey. That's all you need. You just need 50%.
So what happens in China is that they filter the fuck out of it and they purify the fuck out of it because then you don't know where that honey... Apparently pollen is a DNA trace. It's like a thumbprint. It tells you where the honey came from. So the pollen that's in the honey can be used to identify where that bee got that honey.
Yeah.
So you will know if it's clover honey,
if
it's orange tree honey.
Cherry blossom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know that you're eating this type of honey because this bee produced this honey from this flower and the pollen is in that honey. Right?
Right.
You fucking filter out the shit. You don't know where the fuck that honey came from.
So they don't want to be able to be detected? Bunch of assholes?
Well, they filter the fuck out of it, then they send it to another country where that country does something to the honey. They can add high fructose corn syrup.
Buy locally, people. Fuck all this bullshit. Buy local honey. Okay, let's just nip it in the bud.
Yeah,
spend the money on the honey. It's worth it.
They add cheap-ass ingredients to it because we all know high fructose fucking corn syrup is in everything and it's cheap to produce.
Well, I specifically try and steer away from high fructose corn syrup.
But you don't know if it's in there because China sent it to India. India put the high fructose corn syrup in it. Now India is sending it here. They don't tell you that there's high fructose corn syrup in it because they're calling it 100% honey. It came from another country. They're not regulated there.
That's fucked up. Does it say it came from India or China?
I don't know.
I don't trust anything anymore. You know what? You are really ruining my life, Brandi.
But here's what.
Telling me all this stuff.
The United States does not import honey from China. Because of this.
Good. Good. Problem solved.
But
other places do.
Who's to say that some asshole doesn't go down in his basement and do the exact same fucking shit to the honey that he's producing? Because again, you put the high fructose corn syrup in it, you filter the fuck out of the honey, and you obviously have 80 bottles instead of just 8 bottles now of honey. So that bear that you're buying is mass produced, and there's stuff that has probably been done, well, that has been done to it because it doesn't have the pollen in it.
This makes me sad. But I'm glad I've been buying farm-raised honey lately. Like, since last year, I've been buying it from the farmers.
And that's the good. I mean, it costs a pretty penny, but you know what? You know what you're getting.
It sure does.
And it was made with love.
$20 not even a gallon. What's that big old thing?
I think that is a gallon.
A pint?
The big jar, like the big tall one. The glass one?
No.
The big glass, like the one that Mom's had?
Like this one.
Oh, yeah, I think that's like that might be a pint.
A pint. A pint of honey is like $20.
But you know where it came from.
I do know where it came from, and it lasts us a long time.
The stuff that's on the shelf, it says made in the USA, but again, they just took, the health benefits of honey is because of the pollen.
Yeah.
It's not because of the actual honey, but a lot of people don't know the health benefits of honey eating.
We educating y'all, guys.
So, pure honey from the bee pollen, honey that comes directly from the bees, because that's what they do. At the farms, they take the honey from the hive and put it in the jar. They don't do anything else to it.
That's it.
And they fucking put a lid on it, put a label on it, and sell it to you. That is the stuff that you want. And you can actually ask them for honeycomb, or some of them might sell, the honey with the honeycomb in it. You can eat honeycomb, guys. Like, you're missing all the good stuff when you fucking buy that clear liquid fucking goop that is on the shelf. It's not good for you. Oh, by the way, maple syrup is also fucked with because maple syrup only comes from Canada.
Right.
So, and like Aunt Jemima.
Look at this is where I need my utility belt here. What'd you call it? Corkscrew?
Yeah. Aunt Jemima. I mean, not Aunt Jemima. What's that other one? Mrs. Butterworth. All those maple syrups. They're not syrup. They're not syrup.
It's sugar.
It's high fructose corn syrup with fucking food coloring in it to look like maple syrup. Maple syrup is not that thick. It is actually quite watery, and it also crystallizes. Also, the USDA did another thing where they slapped a grading system on it, and they were like A, B, C, D, whatever. So, just so you know, a lot of the shit that you're buying, if it's not what it says it is.
Question everything.
It's not what it says it is.
Question everything. Don't trust the shit that they're fucking feeding you. Honestly, that's what turned me into a vegetarian, not trusting the meat.
Well, we're going to get there.
Not trusting the meat in the beginning, but learning it's more insidious than that. A little more dubious.
Well, we're not going to get into meat. We're going to get into very high-priced meat. But that's what happened. So the FDA was like, no, Webster's already has a definition of honey. And so the USDA was like, okay, yeah, we'll do a grading system. Grade A, B, C, D.
Where do these grades show up as?
They're on the labels. But again, the FDA was like, here's your grading system. You're welcome. That was it. They don't regulate shit.
Yeah.
So you're going to buy honey and you think you're getting grade A honey, which is the pure honey that comes from the hive to the jar, and you're getting the bullshit that they did to it in the factory.
Dude, I want to be a regulator. I want to go out there
but the USDA doesn't regulate shit. They don't go and check on the fucking honey manufacturers and say, hey,
I'll check on
you're a liar. This is not grade A.
I will call everyone liars for you. Just, pay me.
Hey, we're shut this shit down because you're not doing what you're supposed to.
Shut it down. You've been cited. Regulators
they're not doing anything. They were like, are you satisfied? Here's your grading system. Here you go. Have fun. And then, you know, the American Beekeeping Federation is like, okay, well, who's going to actually, like, enforce this shit? Nobody. Nobody's enforcing it. So, yes, there's a grading system. Yes, the label is a lie. It's a lie. So unless you're getting local honey, don't fuck with the shit. Or, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. We got one more. This one actually doesn't even pertain to regular people. This is for those assholes that go to snooty fucking restaurants.
Or the snooty booties?
Or the ones who desire to eat in luxury but can't afford it, but think they are.
Don't be so snooty booty.
Kobe beef.
Kobe beef, okay.
Kobe beef. Kobe. Kobe. Kobe beef. So, Kobe beef is the most expensive beef that you can buy.
Why?
Kobe beef comes from Japan, from a place called Kobe. There is this city in Japan called Kobe. They produce a specific type of cow called a Wagyu cow. The Wagyu cows produce Wagyu beef. The highest quality Wagyu beef is Kobe beef. Got that part?
Got it.
Okay.
Wagyu Kobe.
Wagyu with a Y. Okay, so Wagyu beef is known for its pink color and its marbling. And it has a very, very rich flavor. Now, take it a level above that, and that's Kobe. It's the most expensive meat you're going to buy if you go to a restaurant. Okay. And they have Kobe beef on the menu. It's going to be the most expensive thing on the menu. Unless it's like a fucking 18-pound lobster tail or something.
Shit! Throw that in me, please. Can I get some butter on the side? Shit.
Some lemon.
Hook it up.
For Wagyu beef to be considered Kobe beef, it goes through an extensive approval process. Basically, they get the cows and they process the cows. And they look at it, they look at the quality, they look at the marbling, they look at the color, and they basically throw out 80%. They don't throw it out. It's called Wagyu if it's not Kobe, but it's still, obviously edible because it's still good meat. But the 20% that becomes Kobe beef is the beef that a lot of people are trying to get. This is a rare fucking type of meat, again, because only the fucking Kobe beef is considered Kobe. You cannot call any other type of beef Kobe. Even Wagyu beef, if it's not certified Kobe by the freaking, the Kobe Association.
The Association
in
of Kobe
Japan,
beef.
It ain't Kobe beef. You can't call it Kobe beef.
Okay.
But guess what?
All right.
Come to the United States and they can call that shit whatever the fuck they want.
I call it whatever I want.
I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to buy a piece of flank steak and I'm going to put it on your fucking plate and I'm going to call it a Kobe beef.
Oh, that's fucked up.
It's not what happens, but Kobe has a specific look, a specific taste, a specific style. These cows are, the cows that they use are only, they're inseminated by, what was it? I think
by unicorn.
There's only 6 or 12
bulls.
I want to say 11 or 12. There's like 11 or 12 bulls. Bon Appetit goes into extensive detail about this. And I read the whole thing, but I did not, I didn't incorporate it in my notes here, but I think it's 11 or 12 bulls that they inseminate these cows with to produce this fucking beef because they give birth to these, the calves.
Magical calves.
That have this coloring and marbling to their flesh.
Okay.
They process these cows and they determine this is Kobe, this is Kobe, this is not. This is Wagyu. It's still good meat. It's still expensive ass meat, but it's not
Kobe.
It's not Kobe.
Top notch.
Right. Because the cows are Wagyu cows. However, in the United States, we have a thing called a Waggus cow.
Boy, these Waggus cows sure pushing out a bunch of Kobe.
It's a hybrid of a Kobe cow. It's a hybrid of a Wagyu cow and another type of cow.
A California happy cow?
I don't even know if they're California cows. They might be Wisconsin cows. Who knows?
God.
But
happy cows come from California.
But they produce milk.
True.
So you go to a restaurant in LA. It says it has Kobe beef on the menu. You go to another restaurant in LA. That restaurant also has Kobe beef on the menu. Then you go to a third restaurant. Guess what? They have Kobe too.
These are some fancy restaurants. I must have went to what is it, Kobu? Joku? Nobu.
Right? How the fuck are you guys all having Kobe beef when basically 1 in 1,000 restaurants has Kobe beef on the menu? And you better believe that the people that are going to those restaurants are fucking Johnny Depp level.
Snobs.
Fucking, not snobs necessarily, but they have fucking money.
They've got money.
Hopefully
their palate can recognize.
They have money to spend on Kobe beef.
Fucking Johnny Depp spends $70,000 on wine a month.
Oh my god, Johnny Depp, marry me. We'll be so happy together. Fuck Amber. Amber Heard is garbage. I fucking hate her so much. Anyway, so
we're gonna have to put a pin in that one. We're gonna talk about that later.
She is trash. Anyway, I'm sorry, they're not Waggus, they're Wangus. Wangus. So these Wangus are domestically raised Wagyu breeds and common Angus beef, which is, Angus beef is good beef. It's not, it's not Wagyu, but it's good. I mean, they put a fucking stamp of approval on Angus.
Something to fuck with.
Right, but the Angus cows are from the United States. Wagyu are from Japan, and they're rare. So, I know that you want this rare meat, and I've got Wagyu. I'm going to give you Wagyu, and I'm going to just call it Kobe, just because I can, because we're in the United States, and Japan can't regulate us over here. We're just going to steal the term Kobe from them and pass off Wagyu as Kobe to you. It's still good meat. It's still it's top of the line. But again, one restaurant in LA, one restaurant in New York, maybe one in Miami, they have the Kobe. Oh, and one in San Francisco.
Shit, yeah.
The rest of the restaurants can't get Kobe. So they get Wagyu.
And they pawn it off as Kobe.
It's Kobe. Oh, it's different.
It's Kobe's cousin. Shut the fuck up.
It came from the same cow. Again, 80% of the meat that comes off these cows is not Kobe.
So the 20%, and it's based on the calf that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So and it basically they're all the same. They're all the same breed. But again, the quality, it has to be a distinct color and a distinct marbling, and only these bulls produce this. And so I'm inseminating these cows with these bulls. And so, it's genetics. You're going to get more of your mom's DNA or more of your dad's DNA. If you get more of your dad's DNA, then I want you're Kobe. If you get more of your mom's DNA, then you're Wagyu.
Got it. So could a female be Kobe, or it's only...
it's the bulls.
Only the males?
It's the bulls.
Got it. Glad I don't eat beef.
And they only have 11 of these bulls.
Jesus. But when they get one, hopefully they don't eat it and they'll allow it to grow. So you
don't eat bull. You eat steer.
But I thought it was only the female that could. when I asked you, when they have the baby or whatever, it depends on the coloring. Mm-hmm. That could be a female or a male cow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
A calf is a calf.
A calf is a calf, and it's either Wagyu, or Colby.
Right.
And if it's Colby and it's a female, can't they raise it up and then?
No. You have to cut that bitch open to see. You determine it by the meat. You don't determine it by the birth of the...
Oh, so you don't find out until you kill it. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up!
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yes.
That's messed up.
That's what it is.
Ooh, we got a good one. We got Kobe. Oh, that's fucked up.
Again, the meat is still good meat. But these bulls are Wagyu bulls.
Got it.
And the best meat is the Kobe beef. Get it?
I get it. I'm just sad that we don't find out until they're dead. That's like finding out if you have CTE. You can't find out if you've had that until they crack your brain open and see.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Well, They actually have to slice your brain in half to find it out. So
c'est la vie, right?
You don't want to go on with a half a brain, do you?
Not really.
I mean, some people, well, no, because they don't slice it via the hemisphere. They slice it from, both. All
right, let's get to it. Come on, let's wrap this bitch up.
All your function is gone. Monsanto. Okay, so the United States, basically, the restaurants in the United States, because this they don't sell Kobe beef in the stores. You get this shit at the restaurant.
Okay, I ain't never seen no Kobe beef in a grocery store in my life.
You get this at restaurants. So these restaurants are like, well, the Kobe's more. And so we're going to fucking say it's Kobe beef when it's not. Well, one restaurant got fucking caught.
Sweet.
And they were like, oh, we're sorry. It's Wagyu beef. So now, like, they've changed the wording on their menu to just Wagyu beef. Which is still good beef. Like, it's still top of the line beef.
But it's snobs.
But it's not. It's $100 instead of $150. That's the difference. The price. I'm an asshole, and I want $50 more, even though $100 is still a lot of fucking money.
I'm gonna steak for sure.
Right, for a piece of meat. I'm gonna tell you, this $100 piece of meat is now $150 meat just by the name.
Right.
That's like calling a fucking turd fucking a chicken leg. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. Don't maybe not that extreme, but I'm just saying, don't try to fucking pass off a turd to me and tell me that it's fucking prime rib. You're a liar. I don't want you. Why are you doing that? Oh, because I'm greedy. That's all it is. All of this food fuckery, it's food fuckery. It's all about greed.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
I mean, it really is, because it's like, it sells better if I label it at this and I can market it as that, knowing in my heart that it is not true.
And that's where Monsanto comes in, because there are restaurants that put on their menu that your food is farm to table. Okay? Farm to table means locally sourced ingredients, locally sourced food.
Yeah.
Direct from the farm to your fucking table. Meanwhile, you got your fucking food, your fish, say, any restaurant that has a catch of the day and it's not near a fucking ocean, that is not a catch of the day. That shit is frozen. Okay?
It's the frozen of the day.
Exactly. If you are at a restaurant in Wisconsin, they've
got lakes.
They have lakes, yes. But
Nebraska.
No. If I'm in Wisconsin and my catch of the day is sea bass, it's a lie. Or Arctic cod.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Arctic cod should not be the catch of anybody's fucking day, because Arctic cod live in the Arctic.
Who caught this day? Who is this? And it's a play on words, and it's just like, let's be honest here. Like, you've been using catch of the day for how many years? Fucking 80 years. You ain't catching nothing that day and selling it to me. Like, let's be real.
Like I said, if you go to fucking Maine, their catch of the day is gonna be lobster.
Ooh, I want to eat some fresh fucking seafood in Maine, man.
Their catch of the day should be fucking lobster every day.
I want lobster bisque.
That's the catch of the day.
I want some.
If you come over here, your catch of the day could be, any type of fish that's in the Pacific.
A shark.
But I dare you to tell me that you're fucking in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you have a catch of the fucking day.
I got you, girl. I feel you.
Or
you're on a landlocked place. Like, get out of here. Unless they've got some man-made lakes and, fisheries and stuff.
That's not... Okay, that could be catch of the day, but again, that's farm-raised fish.
Yeah, they're fucking with my head. They're fucking with words.
It's farm-raised fish.
Yeah.
Like, let's be serious, and that's what it should say. Catch of the day, farm-raised trout. Farm-raised salmon. Be honest. God, it's so, like, really, where'd you catch this? Lake Erie? Okay, cool. That's great. I know you're near Lake Erie in Ohio, so let's do that. Right. But if I'm going to fucking, I don't know, where's that place at? Idaho. I'm in Idaho now, and they're telling me that their catch of the day is Chilean fucking sea bass. I know you're a liar.
True.
That's not a catch of the day. That's some frozen shit that you've had in your freezer for a while. Maybe you got it delivered today.
Look what I caught today in the mailbox. Chilean sea bass.
Okay? You had it delivered today. It's not the catch of the day. And ladies, gentlemen, if you live in a landlocked place, there is no catch of the day. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Go to a coastal freaking area. Oh my God, Santa Barbara has some good food.
Yeah, they do.
And they have a catch of the day because guess what? Santa Barbara is a coastal town.
That's where I met my husband. I'm hungry.
So, but I was saying Monsanto because a lot of times that farm to table shit at certain places are using Monsanto crops, seeds and shit. And so a lot of times they have to, they might grow their shit, but they also have to, your supplier also might have to bulk up their stuff with other, by what do you call it, utilizing other methods because they didn't produce enough because Monsanto fucks with your shit and you can only use the seed once and the seeds that they produce don't produce.
They're sterile.
Yeah, basically. So that's all. That was fun,
dude.
But,
it's. I'm not surprised that they fuck with the food. I'm not surprised that there's a lot of guidelines that just are blatantly ignored, and there's a lot of lies out there. I'm not surprised about that. The only thing that we can do is try and grow your own food. I understand there's a lot of people that don't have space and land and stuff. You can grow anywhere. You can grow indoors. You can grow on your porch or on your patio. You just have to decide what you want to grow yourself. And things that are just heavily...
There's this house that that's actually across the street from our post office that I drive by, and I'm like, God, I want that house. They have a balcony, and they have a vertical garden.
Yes.
On their balcony.
Nice.
Against the wall. Mm. So it gets sunlight most of the day, because it faces the east. But I was like, they're doing something. They have a vertical garden. So you can do that. You can actually make a vertical garden on your balcony. Hopefully it gets plenty of sun. Maybe it's a southern facing balcony so that you get the most sun. But if it's not, that's okay. Just give it a whirl.
Work with what you got, and that's what made me become a vegetarian, and that's why I'm trying to grow my own food. And I feel like I really need to step my game up after watching that documentary. I feel like I'm just not even there, but I'm gonna get there.
Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but those free range chickens that you guys think you're getting aren't free range. Because to the FDA, free range just means that their coop has an open door, that they could possibly walk outside, or maybe they won't.
My chickens are free range for sure.
But when you have 1 million chickens,
it's not enough space.
No.
You have to give them enough space. If they're fucking sitting on top of each other.
Exactly.
It's disgusting. I was telling Jamal, I was like, we need more chickens. He's like, where are we going to put more chickens? I say, we've got room, don't worry.
Yeah. So.
That's fucked up. All right, Brady. Thumbs up for the week. Tell me something good.
Oh, my thumbs up for the week. Okay, so I have applied to some jobs because, again, I need a steady stream of income instead of somebody randomly buying something on Etsy once. There's one that I really, 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 really want, and I'm hoping that they like my cover letter. My resume, basically my resume is just, it's the shit, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's not the format that the websites are saying that everybody wants, but old people still want the old fucking formats of resume. They don't want the new format.
They don't want that new.
But anyway, I really, 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 really like this one particular position. So that's the one I'm hoping to, get contacted by. But I put in a bunch this week, And so I'm, hoping to get a couple of nibbles and see who actually bites. But that's my thumbs up for the week, is that I am cautiously optimistic about this particular position. What's your thumbs up for the week?
I just want to be done with this pond. I really want to be able to get in there.
That's your thumbs up, is I want to be done.
Fill this shit up. I'm excited about getting the rocks in, and just like this has been a really fun process. And I've got Jamal watching a bunch of like YouTube videos, and he's getting really excited about it.
Oh, good.
Was
he not before?
He was just doing what I told him to do, but now he's just like, okay, I've got an idea. Like, cool. I'm gonna get my solar panel up on the chicken coop, and we'll have some.
You're gonna put it on top.
Mm-hmm. We have some energy going on. I just think, we're getting eggs. Hey, podcast fam. Fucking one of my chickens is laying eggs. Just one. Just one. Big Herc.
Wouldn't it be funny if all of the chickens were boys except for that one?
That would piss me off. Big Herc.
The only one that's producing.
Yeah, Big Herc is a female, and Big Herc is laying eggs.
But how did you know it was her? She was sitting on it.
I seen her in there. Okay. Like, I seen her in there twice. And I was like, okay, she's familiarizing herself with the nesting box. Cool. It's a female. I was concerned. And when I first noticed the eggs, there's 4 eggs in there. I was like, oh, shit. A bunch of the chickens are laying eggs. It was just her. Because every time I went in there to check, she was in the box. So I never went back and saw that it was empty. Oh. So when I finally got a chance to see it was empty, she had laid 4 eggs. So she'd been laying for 4 days before I recognized that she was laying eggs.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm very excited that I'm getting eggs. I'm getting 1 egg a day. I would prefer like 5 a day so I can make a batch of biscuits or something. But I'll take what I could get, and they will all eventually get into laying eggs. And so I want more chickens.
Yeah, I can see that.
I do, but I'm happy with what we have right now. Like, I'm happy with everything that we're dealing with, what we have on our plate, and we're just trying to make it through this. And
what's up with that corn? So you that corn that Brimley had was from your corn?
Yes, we've eaten corn. We've gotten 2 ears of corn.
Our neighbors, I told you our neighbors have corn. I think their corn is dead. They have, theirs are fucking humongous.
Huge. Ours are fairly short, but I'm getting corn. So we've harvested 2 ears of corn. The first one was delicious. The second one was even better. It was smaller, but it was full. Mm-hmm. All the corn came out, and there's more out there that I could harvest. When they say, like, with corn, only harvest it when you're ready to eat it. Only harvest it when you know what you want to do with it, because the fresher the better.
Yeah.
So whenever I harvest it, I'm boiling water, I'm throwing it in there, and we eat it. And so we've got more corn coming in. I've planted more seeds. The squirrel has left my corn alone this past week, so hopefully it's looking for a new home or something. But I'm happy. I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with my life. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. But I've kind of got some big ideas in my head as to like what I want to do with our future, and I'm excited. Maybe I'll share with you guys a little later. But I'm happy. I'm so happy. I hope you guys are happy. Thank you for listening. This is a little long one today. Brandi likes to talk about food.
Dude,
fraud.
I'm just like, there's more. There's a lot more, but we ran out of time.
we don't want to do that to you guys.
We don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm not ever eating anything ever again.
I know, like shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been a good week. Life is hard. Everything's hard. You just got to keep surviving and just fighting the good fight, honestly. Mm-hmm. Things change. Be flexible. It's going to be okay. We love you. And hopefully you love us back.
I forgot to mention the mafia connection to some of these.
What?
There is a...
Maybe we should do a bonus Patreon about more food fraud.
Yeah. Like the ones that I mentioned. The Manuka one, I think it's the Manuka one. And
in New Zealand?
There's the fake honey. There has been, in the UK, there was this thing, fake vodka and fake meat that was that basically was dog food grade meat that they were feeding to people and there was a mafia connection.
What about the vodka? I need to know that the vodka I'm drinking is real.
It had methanol in it.
Ew, can that kill you?
To cause blindness or death. Yeah.
Vodka?
Blindness and death.
Where was
the methanol? In the UK.
Y'all need to get your shit together. Alright, that's fucked up.
It was basically like knockoff. It was labeled as Smirnoff, I think, or Stolichnaya. One of those.
I love Stoli!
But it was in the UK.
Now I gotta make my own vodka with my potatoes. No? Moonshine?
That's exactly what it would be. And you again, blindness and death from moonshine.
Well, fuck that. All right. Well,
if you drink 100% alcohol, you can guarantee yourself you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. Aries, you're gonna die. So you give me your thumbs up. I give you my thumbs up. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. Connect with us on social. Visit our website at bookoflifepodcast.com or meet us on social, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are on all of those platforms, and we're waiting for you to join us.
Yes, sir. I think I'm just going to upload my notes to the blog instead of like trying to just like come off the cuff. I'll just do my notes.
Check out our blog. Granny's putting in work on our blog. Go to Book of Life's podcast and check out the blog. And show us a little support there because we love you guys. And hey, I am Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Fleeks.
And this was Book of Life. The podcast.
That is BOP. Bitches.